This episode is brought to you by Broadhead Decals. From door wraps and roof signs, window stickers and banners, let Broadhead Decals take care of all your vinyl needs with only quality products used.
Justin's graphic design abilities will get you everything you could ever want. With super fast shipping, their turnaround time is second to none. So let Broadhead Decals take you to the next level. Ladies and gentlemen, Hard Nosed Derby Podcast. What a weekend.
Capital City Carnage 2024.
There was action.
There was a lot of action. And I was really happy about, there was a few people that got a little stick painted yellow, but he wasn't going around painting all the cars.
Right. Yeah, he didn't look like fucking
Bob Ross on crack and shit. Yeah,
he didn't look like Ice Cube's dad in Friday when he come out of the bathroom.
But that's something that we talked about, even with Tim Jr. Carnage is different than Blizzard Bash. One, there's no heats. It's all one and dones.
That's nice. I'm not gonna get on here and sound like a broken record, but it's a big show that you don't have to take parts to.
Word. None. Like I said, torch. Unless you didn't want to fix your shit, you put it back on the trailer.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Okay, there's the question. Do you want to fix your shit? Would you rather have to fix it to run or just instantly get a stick?
So I'd like to have to do a little something. I've been loaded one time. And that was for being underbuilt.
Correct. Built to the rules.
Still to this day, I hate even saying that to anybody because they're like, what the fuck do you mean you were loaded because you were underbuilt? Like, they told me, put that back on the trailer. Mm-hmm. I was like, what? Why? Like, it's built, like...
It's supposed to be.
Legit.
Yeah.
I didn't have down tubes in that car.
Fuck that.
And I mean, you could, but they had to go to sheet metal.
Mm-hmm.
But where they had to be in that Mopar, it was useless.
Pissing in the wind.
And I didn't know what the fuck I was doing then either. I've learned a little bit more since then. But yeah, they were like, you're going to get hurt. I was like, what? Oh.
Because you had actually considered letting Lish drive it.
That was the game plan, 100%. And they were like, oh, no, absolutely not.
Yeah, what's that tell you?
And then my brother-in-law was behind me in a car that we had pulled out of a hobo class. I welded 6 plates on it, and we took it. Had 4.6 in it, chipped it on a column. And they were going to give him a stick. I was like, well, I know. What? Hold on. Wait a minute. But that's my experience with the loading thing. Yes, I've been places I've had to cut, do a little changing, whatever. On a big stage like that, man, if I could fix it, I'd almost have to fix it. Because 9 out of 10 times, and I'm not saying this for everybody because I know there's some guys that are solo out there, mm-hmm. you know, that don't take nobody with them, you know, may have a son, father, you know, whatever with them. But within reason, I mean, actually, it would almost have to be like catastrophic for me not to cut something out there to make it work.
We've talked before. It's hard to add length.
Yes.
There's 2 choices to add length, and both of them really fucking suck.
Yeah. Now, see, there's where you're talking, like on my end. I'm probably not going to cut a whole fucking bumper off and
rehorn it.
It
sucks.
See, I'm out on that. Unless that's my only, like, I can't take it nowhere else and run it.
Yes.
Luckily around here, like, there is a place where you can run about. I mean, you know, there's rule sets for almost anything.
Well, it's just hearsay. A lot of guys didn't want to fix it. They were too short.
Right.
We don't
fucking Harbor Freight tape measures.
That is right. We don't know for sure the numbers. We heard it's quite a bit.
Yeah, but we'll be able to squash that shit because you've got a guy's number that we can probably get.
That he went through some tech there.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about that right now. I'm talking about you've got Tim Clark Jr.
Oh, yes.
We can hit him up about that.
Yep.
Because this probably won't be the last episode we talk about this derby.
Overall, pretty fucking satisfied to watch it.
Yes. Just like anything, there were some slow spots. Mm-hmm. You're going to get that with the caliber driver that was there, with the cash money that was on the line. All the heat started out pretty get down on it.
Yes.
Yes. It seemed like first heat, everybody was kind of feeling the track out. And you see that a lot.
For about 3 minutes.
Yep. You know what I'm saying, though? Everybody kind of got off the line. They were taking it easy. Seeing a lot of people burping throttles. Seeing what they had underneath of them.
The track was absolutely phenomenal looking.
That motherfucker looked like glass. It looked smooth.
It had the shine on it.
Yeah. I'm going to use him as an example. Steinbeck. He was turning old iron around like a new style Ford.
Mm-hmm. Until it wouldn't.
Too many ponies.
There it went. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, dude. When you start your show out on a Friday night with the street stock first heat, when you have Sean Pryor, Chad Markley, Lane Epinson.
Chad Markley, like, not the car I thought he was going to be in.
Hell no.
I would have lost money on that one.
Big time. I mean, because last year he even took an old iron sedan.
Yeah. Well,
but that's still different.
I would have almost bet it would have been old iron GM. Mm-hmm. Like, whether it be wagon or sedan. Like, yep. I would have lost money on it.
Yeah. You know, he took he took a sedan last year, an old iron sedan, drove it just like a wagon. Takes a Lincoln this year. Guess what? Drove it just like a wagon. Until he couldn't. You know, I'm
not going to lie, there was a couple times I was yelling at the TV. Watching it. I'm like, turn that motherfucker around.
Yes. I mean, even in his wagon, he'll turn him around, but it's
usually but that Lincoln was ready. Like, it was ready to fucking eat.
Yes. The body... I mean, the humps were buckled. The body was down on the tires. And then he chucked an axle, which you never see out of Chad Markley.
I'm not going to lie. I got to watching that axle more than I did the heat there for a minute.
Yep.
Because it was all the way out.
And then that bitch was all the way back in.
Yeah.
I was like, there's no fucking way.
Somebody hit the motherfucker. I watched him hit it. And it didn't move.
No.
I was like, I need that axle.
Yes.
Because with my fucking 112 horsepower, like, I never have to worry about fucking that up.
The old 112.
The diversity out there as far as cars, man. Like, I really figured there were so many new style Fords out there. Like, a lot.
And I'm pretty sure they won every feature but one.
Yeah,
Pryor won the first heat.
Like I said,
Friday night.
I haven't got to see. I haven't got to watch all of Saturday yet. Like I said, I was busy cleaning up and shit yesterday, and got to barbecue and got a call from work and all that fun shit. But so many new style Fords.
So many. New style Ford won the mod class. New style Ford won the light wheel class. Out of the 5 heats of street stock welds, they won 4 of the 5. That's just something you don't usually see. I mean, because you saw, like Gary Russell, I think he was in like a metric GM, like a metric caddy or something. We've seen Gary over in Kansas being new style Fords, old iron GM stuff. We saw some Jonte Green. I believe he was in probably like an Impala or something like that. One of the Impensons was in a cherry ass wagon.
What'd you think of that car? Like, whenever, I mean, as far as the build and stuff, because it looked like it was built a little different than you normally see a wagon. I'm talking as far as the rear quarters, like he
weren't sucked in.
Right.
He did just a little, maybe a smidge of creasing.
Which I need to look at the rules. You might not have been able to.
On the wagon side?
Yeah. But I just had, like, that was something that I noticed right away whenever he pulled out there. There was a little bit of creasing, nothing crazy.
Yeah.
But usually them quarters are fucking
tight.
They've got them tight. Because after somebody finally did run up the ass end of it, it started to do what wagons do.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Even in the light weld class, Tiny, Losi, he had his leftover from Blizzard Bash, and somebody had a hard-on for it, and he half-tracked him in the ass probably twice, and it started doing that janky shit, roof going up. I mean, it started doing some weird stuff.
What'd you think about the trunk on Markley's new style? Because that was a little different than you normally see. Like it wasn't a dish. It really wasn't a tuck.
And it wasn't a fold.
Right. It was because he beat the quarters, right in front of like where you would tuck it.
Mm-hmm.
But the trunk was still in it, and it just angled back up to the speaker deck.
We saw.
There was a shit ton of different trunks out there.
And I'm not going to sit here and say which ones did the best, because some of the rear ends that you would normally see on the trunks, we saw them start to go down.
Yeah.
That doesn't usually happen there, even on the mod side. Scoops are scoops, but, Grandpa Jerry Lyerly, he went out in that beautiful son of a bitch in the light weld. And I thought, I was watching the rails, and they stayed. And I was like, okay, it's body. And then I watched it all go down. I thought, the ruh-roh.
And I got to watch some of that. I fucking hate that. I hate when the trunk goes down.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather see them blow the fucking humps plumb off of them and wad
yes.
the ass end up into the tank protector. Just... Yep. Because like now he can go home. They can pull that ass end up.
Roll it up nice and tight.
Yep.
Like a Snoop Dogg blunt.
Yep.
And because the front is still pretty spicy.
Not a good looking motherfucker.
I love that. I don't know if that was that purple color.
No, that was just that two-tone. That was Jerry Blue.
And the white top, and it just set everything off, and he had just enough
decals and shit on it.
And roof sign, which I love the double roof sign.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know what it's for.
Correct. We haven't got to talk about the man for a minute. Mr. Tony fucking Miller, boy.
I was watching that. The camera pans down there, and I was like, I can see through his headers.
I was like, whoever the fuck built his headers are some top quality shit.
Well, I looked over at my wife, and I go, look at that. And she didn't even say what. That's
what happens when you get that Ford start doing the weird shit up front with the suspension.
Yeah.
So he's trying everything in his power to get it to go forward.
Every time he does it, the motherfucker wants to brake right.
Yep. So he was driving it with transmission and was just never lifting.
Oh, man. And it fucking sounded decent.
It did.
That bitch was singing.
It did. It sounded good. Overall, it was a really good show. Like I said, you didn't get to watch Saturday night. Mr. 5X.
Yep.
He got the win, cashed the $10,000 check. During the on-track interview, he did announce, Mr. Buddy said, well, we'll see you back in November, I'm sure. And John said no. And Buddy's jaw dropped. And he's like, what? And he was like, yep. He said, I've told everybody in my circle that if I can win here, I'm going to be done. I'm not saying done with derbying.
Right.
But done at the Stormont Vale Event Center. Because we see John at Blizzard Bash, but we don't see John on a team.
Right.
John always runs the singles classes. He did take 2 cars. He took a street stock and a light weld. I sent a text, and I said, hey, I didn't see 5X on the driver's sheet after getting a stick. He said, too short. Well, his car was out there. Somebody else decided, evidently, to fix the issue and run it. And holy shit, did he run it. So, these, like I keep going back to the competitive juices. You're there, you're at one of the top 10 shows in the nation from January to December on the big show level. There is just some people that will go that extra distance to send that bitch. But that's just how John is. You know, here, dude, you fix it, you can run it. And it's not like he put a punk running it. No average
Right.
Joe, you know, I'm not in it,
Right.
you know. I mean, it's a dude who can get a wheel the fuck out of a car.
Oh, yeah.
But we've got a guy. We're going to get one of those multiple hats
Yes.
tonight, or today, or whatever goddamn time it is, who was at this big show,
Yeah.
ran top 5 of this big show before the promoting starts. So we will be right back.
Triple B's Tees offer custom shirts and logo designs for all your apparel and merchandise needs, offering a variety of shirts, hats, hoodies, tumblers, and koozies. Triple B's will work with you one-on-one to personalize and perfect your logo. With over 5 years in the business, 20 years in the sport, they live for Demolition Derby.
Chunk and his crew can bring your imagination to realization with 0 limitations. So for all your badass tees, choose Triple B's. So just get him on the phone.
Well, here he is.
Ultimate Derby's very own, Mr. Chris Williams. What is up, buddy?
How's it going, guys? Glad to be on.
Oh, well, let's hear about it.
Capital Carnage, Bubba.
What'd you think of tech, running, track? Give it to us.
Oh, it was good. It was good. I mean, tech was easy for me. I came in a little underbuilt. Just had a lower cradle and a full cradle class. Wasn't expecting much through tech. But the whole show was awesome. Had an awesome weekend. Glad to relax for once. And just got to drive a car and ended up doing all right. Got 4th, and it was a heck of a heat. A lot of good drivers in there. It was pretty sweet getting to run with some of the people that support our shows. So it was a good time.
It's funny that you say you had time to relax. Most people, when they go to, Gold Rush, Blizzard Bash, whatever it may be, even in a driver's standpoint, it's usually wild, hectic, and all that. But you're so used to having to be there the week before, do everything leading up to it, that getting to go run that big show was relaxing.
Yep. It was a complete vacation for a lot of the derbies I've been to. Promoting shows is not relaxing at all. It's a hectic week, and your stress is unimaginable. But this week was very relaxing. I enjoyed it.
Well, so I'm guessing with the fourth place finish and an underbuilt car, I'm assuming you were happy with the way the car held up.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I didn't use it too much. If you watched, it held up phenomenal. I couldn't ask for much more. So it got down to the end, and that's all it needed to do. And, I mean, at the end, I got packed in a corner. Was able to drive it off the track, and load it on the trailer. So, I mean, she had more in her, but just got stuck there at the end.
I could see your facial expression through your helmet, because as soon as you got stuck in the wall, you could just kind of see the deterrent, of head, not really head down, but you could tell you was pissed that you kind of just got put in that situation.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it probably could have been avoided, driving a little different there at the end. Should have had a more head on a swivel, so it was a little just disappointment knowing that I could have done better and had more car to work with. And I think I speak for all drivers. If you're able to pull off the track and you weren't the one who won it, it's always a little bit of a disappointing factor.
Correct.
Yeah, but I mean, there's some things you can only watch so much. I mean, we've all been in a car, like everything's happening, and then whenever you're down there, you're like, okay, now what?
Yep. Like I said, I ain't gonna hang my head too low. A heck of a feature. I mean, you look at the names in there. I'll take fourth any day. So that was beyond the expectations I had going in. So I ain't complaining one bit.
And like you said, it being a vacation, I bet it was nice because you got a bunch of the people that run your all shows. You actually got to hang out with them on the other side of things.
Yeah, it's always nice going to a show when you don't have too much pressure on anything, and you just kind of get to sit back and relax with everyone else. And it's a good time to get feedback of what you're doing, just to chat with them, what you could do better. And, I mean, we're always looking to improve no matter what. Nobody's going to be perfect. Nothing's ever going to be perfect. But it's good to get other people's opinions, good or bad, and their feedback to always keep improving for our stuff.
Well, Chris, this is the first time you've been on a big, on a higher level stage as a driver. You started running when you were 13 or 14?
Yeah. My first car was 12. I ran when I was 12, and been running ever since.
Dude, I remember when you were 12. There had to have been a fucking height requirement.
Oh, yeah. I was tiny. I was 12, and I think I looked like I was about 8.
What do you got in store next? Any plans on running anything else or?
I don't know. I'm looking to run a couple more shows this year. Got a couple pre-runs and stuff for county fairs, but I'm looking to build a car. I don't know where yet. Trying to find a good show to kind of just go have fun, but that has not been decided yet.
Well, maybe considering going back to Mobrid's team show where you did the ejecto-ceto out the front windshield or something like that.
Yeah, our team's talked about going back there. It was a fun show last year. Would have been a little better if I would have had a seatbelt on.
Your guts might not have thought so.
Yeah. I was a hurting unit after that heat. I had to finish that heat with a bloody nose. I had 2 black eyes. Nose was fully swollen. It was a rough one.
Did my nose.
Yeah.
So whatever you made that shot, and you come completely out of the car, and I mean I don't feel like I'm juicing that up at all. There was over half of you out of the front of that car.
Yeah.
Whenever you got back down to the seat, were you just was it back to business as normal, or did you have to take a second and regroup, or?
Yeah, I mean that whole thing was kind of unique because pulling off or getting ready for that heat, went to start my car to go pull in line, and my distributor wire somehow got pulled out, so we had to kind of redneck wire something together, and to be honest, I didn't know how long it was going to last wired like that, and I told my guys, I said, I'll try to I said I might be good for one hit, so I'm going to make it count, and that was the first shot I saw, and I took it, and yeah, when I was laying out of the car and my chest is on the steering wheel, and the steering wheel is the only thing keeping me in the car, or I probably would have ended up on Chris Lancaster's hood, I was like, what the hell just happened? And I kind of got back, shook my head, and I was like, well, she's still running, so we're going to keep going.
I watched that shit happen. I said, Chris, get back in the car.
Yeah.
Well, what's crazy about it is like
it's definitely a unique experience. I didn't know what the hell to think at first. I got my bell rung a little bit, and I just kind of shook my head. I was like, what an idiot I am.
Well, you went out the hood, and at one of our local shows, we watched Austin Johnson go completely under the steering wheel. Like,
Yes.
you were out on the hood, Austin Johnson. I'm not joking again. Like, he disappeared. We did not know where he went, and he was wadded up in the floorboard.
Yeah, it's I will always wear a lap belt from now on. So that's the plus side about that. You learn from your mistakes, I suppose.
So let's jump into talking about the road to Gold Rush.
The driver's side is done. Now it's business side. You guys have ventured out a little farther this year. You've got a show in South Carolina.
Yep.
You have a show in Macon, Missouri as a qualifier.
Yep, Macon.
Dude.
Also got Ottawa, Iowa as well, and Greeley, Colorado.
Yes.
Stampede out there. So
Now, are you going to be doing kind of how you did the destructive behavior last year, where you're not promoting like the Greeley show? You're just going to go out there and tech an official like you did it for the destructive behavior one?
yeah, so not all the shows I will be teching. Pretty much only the ones that have asked me. So there's definitely a few on the list. South Carolina, they're doing their own thing out there, and they're great guys to work with. It's going to be an awesome show. It's the last week of March, so you guys need to tune in and watch that. It's going to be 2 one-and-done heats, and they're going to take the 2 winners, and 2 Mad Dogs are going to be the qualifiers out of that one. And then like Greeley, Ottawa, and Macon are the 3 other shows that were added. I will be teching at all of those, just like do out a destruction behavior show out in Heber, where they promote it. All I'm doing is coming in, just kind of trying to help them out on the tech side of things. And if they have any other questions, I try to answer them the best of my ability. But the shows like I'm not working with at like Metal Mayhem or South Carolina or All In Promotions in Rapid City, their show, Black Hills Beatdown. If they have any questions, they can reach out to any one of us. It's kind of a cool, unique thing we got here at the Wheel and Man, where promoters are actually coming together and helping each other. Like South Carolina guys, they have an indoor derby. Their show's an indoor derby, and they were struggling with dirt, and that's something we've struggled with at Whiskey City before. And I was like, hey, here's what we do. This is how we do it. I have a dirt guy, so if you guys have any problems the week before, I'll send you his number, and he's a great guy to work with. So it's really cool seeing all these promoters come together and put on something that's really bigger than any of us, and trying to find the best drivers across the country to find a true national champion. And there was a heck of a lot of talk about it last year. So this year we're going to try to do even bigger and cooler things, and we got a lot of things in the works going down the road.
What's cool to me is, like, we've kind of known about the Greeley, Colorado show.
Yep.
But I've been watching on Facebook and not even really searching for it. That show's gaining traction.
Yeah.
And really has the last couple of years. So
Yeah,
I feel like
it's
this whole...
It's an awesome show out there in Greeley.
Well, I feel like this whole qualifier deal, like, it's really growing your localized promoters.
Yeah, and that's the whole kind of concept behind it. Is like the county fairs is the heart of Demolition Derby. The big cool shows are are awesome, but not everyone gets to do that. As a kid growing up watching the sport, my dad used to put on 20-some county fairs and watching all the county fairs. I mean, some of your best derbies are your local county fairs where people are just straight getting after it. So it's really cool to help all the smaller county fairs and local promoters. And I mean, some of these guys are big, top-notch promoters. I wouldn't even call them local promoters. I'd say all of them are pretty big promoters. But, I mean, you look at the list of qualifiers, there's about half of all our county fairs. So it's really cool to help the county fairs grow with the big shows and kind of get everyone involved. So you don't need the big money to travel across the country to go to a big show. Really, you just got to qualify at one of your local shows or regional shows, and then you actually get paid to come to Gold Rush. Every qualifier gets paid $500 when they walk through the door. So, and the promoters put up that money. You pay no entry fee. There's $40,000 of prize money on the line that we take zero entry fees for. So it's a true for the drivers type thing, and it's cool because then you get to see who's the baddest of them all across the country.
Now, Chris, I'm going to ask, in 2022 and 2023, you guys started your season out with Whiskey City and Peoria. How much of a curveball was it not being able to use that as your stepping stone for the start of your year? Because the Peoria shows last year was off the hook.
It was so much fun. I really, like, one of the better times I've ever had at a show was in Peoria. Like, I had a blast.
Yeah, that was an awesome venue, and it's pretty disappointing that we didn't get to do it again. I think this year would have even been bigger. It's tough starting these big arena shows. I mean, you don't make money the first couple years. I mean, you lose your butt, so you put all your heart and soul into it, and a lot of money. And I think we were just turning the corner on that show, and it was an awesome, unique one and dones. Everyone just gets to come in, hang out, have fun, party it up, type show. And so it was a little bit of a curveball. It was nice coming to Capital though, and not having to deal with all the tech questions and all that from Whiskey City. So that was the only plus side. That it's a little less stressful, but it's definitely a disappointment.
Well, usually we were talking to your dad, several times a year. He has told us multiple times how this Ultimate Derby coming back. Now, I have an older son and a daughter that's a little bit younger than him. I know they love each other, but they hate each other. How do you and Nicole figure out how to get along during all this process of all the shows that you're getting lined up, all the background bullshit that you have to take care of? How hard is it for you guys to keep it family but still professional?
Yeah, it's a struggle for sure, and I think anybody in business with their family would agree to that. It's not a lot of fun, it's been a struggle at times. I mean, I'll be the first one to tell you I don't agree with some of the stuff they do, and they don't agree with some of the stuff I do. So we definitely butt heads. And I mean, we're all of our own people, but together we come together and try to put on the best production we can. And having us three put our heads together, usually we come to a compromise. But there is a couple days where it got heated on a phone call, or it got heated in person, and I mean, we kind of got to look past the family, but at the end of the day, we still are family. I try to tell them it's strictly business. When we're not dealing with business, then we're a family. But there's nothing's personal doing the business. No hard feelings. But we got to tell each other what's black and white, and not sugarcoat anything, because that's ultimately how you get better. And so it's definitely been a struggle, but I mean, those two are awesome. I mean, what Nicole does on the backside of things, what people don't get to see, she pours her heart and soul into it, and it's really awesome to see her truly enjoy it. And then Dad this has been his passion for, I don't know, I think 2007 is when he started promoting shows, and watching him see Gold Rush. You couldn't ask for a better first year event out of Gold Rush. It was absolutely phenomenal. And to see him kind of sit back and just kind of smile to see what he can rebuild, what he's rebuilding. Because ultimately Blizzard Bash was his baby, Capital Carnage was his baby, and he let that go for family reasons, to spend more time with us. So it's pretty awesome to help build him back what was his. So, and Gold Rush this year is going to be off the chain. As of today, we have done more hotels rooms than we did last year. So we've got 2 hotels sold out. Third one's on its way. So like I said, if anybody listening to this is thinking about coming to Gold Rush, you better get on top of things, because it's gonna be wild.
Done got them.
Yep. It's a done deal.
Yep.
So something was brought up over social media. Some little show down maybe in Florida that had Iron City Promotion label on the top of it. Are you able to give us a little insight that you could have, or is that something that still needs to be up under wraps?
It's still in the works on a few things, but what I can tell you is Iron City is not having a show this year because they're working on amazing things for 25, more than just the Florida show. And so they don't have a qualifier this year, and that's kind of how we got in touch with the South Carolina guys. But that Florida show, it's in February, and we've already been doing some talking. That's going to be the first 2025 Wheelman qualifier. And what a better spot to have a derby at.
I ain't never been to Florida.
It's gonna be sweet.
I have never been to Florida, but I will be next February.
Yep. I already got it marked on the schedule. Just depending on how some of the stuff lays out, if I ain't helping or doing something like that, I might even drag down a car. I don't know, but
hell yeah.
Well, let's hear your take on this whole demo thing.
Yeah, that's something that blew up the internet. There's a lot of drivers that are involved in it. I have mixed feelings on the whole thing. As a driver, I was personally supposed to be on a team for that Bristol show that Demo is putting on, and I was denied availability to run on that show. I was not allowed to come to the show and run, is what Dustin Woods told the team captain. He didn't even let me know. So I have a little mixed emotion. But for the drivers that are all involved and that have made a huge investment into that, I hope them all well. Bottom of the heart, the last thing this community needs is people feeling like they got screwed over, and it just loses trust with all the promoters. If we try to do something similar, it loses trust for us. But I hope it works out for everybody. The main guy behind it, I don't know. I have a lot of feelings that I could say, but I'm not going to snoop down to that level.
No, that was a good answer. I think
that was a very respectful answer.
Yeah, very much so.
That sounded like that's where your dad is coming out.
Yeah, that sounded like a Sam answer.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, we're all a bunch of derby guys that want to see the sport grow. So if I don't agree with all the numbers and all the things that they're doing, they probably don't agree with some of the things we're doing as well. But I want to see the sport grow, and ultimately, that's what we're trying to do with Wheelman. That's what we're trying to do with Gold Rush. I keep seeing a lot of things about this Bristol show that says for the drivers, by the drivers. But the question I give them back is, I mean, you're having to pay a $2,500 entry fee to a $10,000 entry fee, depending on the circumstances. So, and you get you're running for $100,000. I mean, at Gold Rush, we're doing $256,000 in prize money, and we only take $30,000 of entry fees. Wheelman, we do $40,000 for prize money and take 0 entry fees, plus every driver gets $500. I mean, to me, that's more for the drivers. But, I mean, at the end of the day, I hope everything works well, because Demolition Derby, not the organization, needs to grow. And, I mean, there's so many people who spend their entire paychecks on this sport, and this sport needs to get to the next level. And we're in big talks right now with a lot higher of people than the Derby World's used to, and we're gonna try and blow the doors off the Derby World here shortly. But all that's still in work, so I'm not even gonna reach on it, because I don't want to make any unemptied promises that I can't hold up. But if the deal we're working on right now goes through, it's going to be amazing for the Derby community and all the drivers involved.
Well, I can tell you right now that we appreciate everything that you, your dad, your sister do. Derek, he's kind of a loser, didn't get to go to Gold Rush last year.
You just going to keep holding that over my fucking head, dickhead?
100%, dude. That was one... That was so much fun. From the action to the atmosphere, everything. It was a blast.
It was a hell of a show.
It really was. I cannot wait to see what this year has in store for what you all have going on. We're going to try to make it to as many as we can, like always. But man, I want to be the first to tell you good luck on all the endeavors this year, and ultimately, I guess we'll see you at Gold Rush.
Heck yeah!
You gonna have some of them kick-ass seat tickets left up for us?
Oh yeah, I'm sure we'll hook you guys up. It's gonna be an off the charts kind of year. I mean, we're gonna put our heads down, and I mean, we've been putting our heads down the last couple of months preparing for this year. And like I said, what we got with all the Wheelman shows, I mean, if you aren't signed up for a qualifier yet, go to your nearest show. They're spanned across the United States at this point. Get in. I mean, it's a free ticket to Gold Rush. You get paid to come to Gold Rush. So, I mean, it's going to be an awesome year for all those qualifiers. And Gold Rush is going to be off the hook this year. I mean, it was good last year. It's going to be phenomenal this year. The production side of things is going to be so much better. We're going to be a little more organized. We changed pretty much all the team formats are now one-on-one on all levels. That's your national side, that's your bone stock side, that's your compact side. So it's all heads up, and I think as everyone knows, heads up is the best nights. And the team lists are insane, and we're completely full, and we got a waiting list a mile long. So
it's what we want to hear.
Well, man, we'll leave you alone, let you get back to it. We appreciate you taking out time talking to us, and man, can't wait to see where everything goes.
We'll see you way before Gold Rush, Bubba.
Heck yeah, yep. I'll be all across the country this year, going to a bunch of different shows. So no matter if I'm there teching, supporting, or driving, I'm sure we'll see you guys at one of them.
All right, brother. We appreciate you, Chris.
You too. Thank you guys for having me on.
Thanks,
Always
buddy.
A pleasure.
Have a good one, buddy.
Yep, you guys as well. Good night.
All right, good night. Holy shit.
Yeah.
There's like enough stuff he wants to talk about, but he can't. He can't do it yet. But what did we say after Whiskey City?
Well, fuck, I don't know, man.
Last
I've slept
year.
since then. I told you I got drunk as fuck Saturday night. I don't know what I had for lunch yesterday.
Do you remember when we talked to Austin Johnson before the Whiskey City show and he was driving to win? Mm-hmm. What happened?
He did not drive to win.
They put cameras in his car.
Right. I was sitting there in my car getting everything, just kind of double checking everything, making sure battery shit was tight and fuel lines where they needed to be. And I look over and they're putting cameras in Austin Johnson's car. And it was almost like his facial expression changed. And you could see Jerry looking at him like, fuck.
What's he going to do? Break everything. So there's a lot of stuff that has been going on even through last year that we don't know about. There's right. I haven't seen all this footage and shit from inside Austin's car. I mean, you saw a couple little teasers, but not that. You know what I'm saying? But it's, guys, that is no shit. I mean, you have got if you want to go run Gold Rush, if you want to be a national wheelman qualifier, you've got so many chances. So many. And it's not just in a street stock build. Greeley, Colorado, theirs is limited weld.
Right.
Jason Dials is actually able to take his Blizzard Bash car, whatever he took from last year, and he can go and run it. And it's paying 10 G's.
Right. And, I mean, you've got destructive behavior out there.
That's paying all the fucking money.
All the monies.
All the bunnies.
And it sounds like if you're in South Carolina.
Florence, maybe? I think it's Florence, South Carolina. I think.
I'm not going to get fact checked on that.
I said I think. I didn't say I knew. Metal Mayhem.
Yes.
Honorable team show.
And we know what the build style's like at Mayhem. Mm-hmm. Because that would be on the lighter side, correct?
Way lighter side.
Yeah.
Like your bone stock, hobo.
I haven't seen the specifics on it, but it sounds like Macon's going to be street stock.
Mm-hmm.
That's in our fucking backyard.
It's 22 minutes from my house.
Yeah, it's 34 minutes from my house.
Yeah. Yep. Boy's birthday. Boy plans on taking a van and full sending that bitch for his last hoorah over there for his birthday, and he has already been looking at Fords. Ooh, son of a bitch. Glad he makes good money.
At least they circled the problem on this.
They do. That's why you get rid of the problem and put in a solver. I want to see. You want to talk about somebody who has changed the game, as we're talking about the Ultimate Derby guys, with the Gold Rush National Qualifier. I would love to figure out who the first person was in a Derby car to take a new style Ford and put a Chevrolet motor in it.
I bet that happened so long ago that I bet we can't find that.
Correct.
Because I know what some local dudes that are about 18 miles north of here were doing, homemaking adapter plates that went on on Mopar motors that you could bolt a Chevrolet transmission to. And that was way back in the day.
Yeah. Yes, way back in the day. They loved the 318s, but they knew the transmission sucked, so they figured out how to make them.
Yeah, because it took a different flex plate. It took some doing.
That's on a whole different level of redneck fuckery. Yeah, that's what that is.
All bullshit aside, I guarantee you we can get some light shit on that, and I bet we can get the fucker in here.
Which one? Because there's
that'd be Big Billy.
Oh,
I guarantee you we can get Billy to come talk to us about that. Which I know that some of our local listeners have been wanting to hear from some of them OGs anyway. Mm-hmm. And I know Billy's not that old, but he's a fucking OG when it comes to that stuff. Because like he was in the game before all these parts. Hell, like whenever we had Rob Heuer on, he was talking about it. Back late 80s, early 90s, like there wasn't these parts. You had a pimp stick and a stock gas pedal.
Yeah.
You still run a fucking brake booster.
Oh, yeah.
Still on that bitch.
Front brakes.
Yes.
All day long.
I told everybody, we were out in the shop the other night, and we decided this year all the back tires are getting painted. We're gonna X them shits.
Oh my God!
I'm bringing it back.
Well, I won't have to look for a wobble at least. But no, man, this year,
it's gonna be so much different for Derby. Like there's gonna be some shit done this year that nobody's ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm talking more on the show side of things.
Yeah, Chris already just said 2025. They're already working towards that.
Hell, we ain't even done
on some
24
changes.
yet.
Fuck no, we just got started. But in my opinion, to be ahead of the game, that's the shit that you have to do.
One thing I'm glad he touched on. I was wondering. I knew he didn't have a full cradle in that car because I seen the pictures and shit of it. I was like, I don't think that's a full cradle. That right there proves so many fucking points for me.
Lower cradle I think it had a front plate on it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yep.
When
you can't lock all that shit in, it's
which
just more weight on the suspension.
when we were talking with Mr. Dials, what he was going to try to do with that 03
was not like what took him out was not what I thought was going to take him out.
I
mean, I knew it was a possibility, but I did not think that's how that was going to go.
Yeah, left front said
Done.
and
Quick.
it didn't even really take a hard shot in it. I think it was one of them clip shots.
Fucking 03s.
They got their problems.
Because I wanted to see his theory played out.
Yes.
Because he actually sent me a message and was like, I went half and half on what I was wanting to do.
So he talked himself probably into putting some plates on.
A couple.
But he left the suspension loose.
Yeah.
He didn't tie any.
I'm not going to say exactly what he did, but yeah, he texted me and he's like, I finally made my mind up. I was really wanting to see it played out.
But congrats to all the Mad Dogs, the Missouri boys. You had some Oberly boys that I promise you them motherfuckers knew they was there.
Yes.
Big D in the compacts and some scabbed up junk. Runner down in the top 5.
Why is he so much fun to watch?
Because he's our size and we can relate.
Yeah, but he is one humble motherfucker.
He is. Yep. Yeah, he's good shit. I bet you he was really, really, really feeling bad Sunday morning because I got Snapchats of what he was drinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was celebrating.
He was celebrating with tequila in a cup. Not a shot glass. A fucking cup.
Fuck that.
So.
Oh, man.
Made a post the other day. This is a start of these guests.
Mm-hmm. We've got a fucking stupid lineup.
We got some promoters. Top level big show promoters that will be on.
What gets me is the amount of messages that I'm getting out, and I love it. I'm not mad about it. Fuck, I enjoy it because it's not like the calls and stuff and the messages I used to get when I was putting shows on. I'm starting to get people just messaging me just to bullshit, and I'm good with it. Like,
ask them what kind of beer we want.
Yeah, well, not just that. I mean, I've had a couple guys reach out about the R bodies and shit like that. I know that I do not have trouble finding Mopar cars anymore. I get between 4 and 8 messages a week. Hey, would you be interested in? I'm like, well, probably. Fucking send me a picture of that shit.
No.
But no, it's cool. Love the fucking fan interaction. Like, keep it up.
Yes.
I did notice that you've been a little bit more active on our Facebook page. That seems to be gaining traction. My fucking phone's got notifications on it all the time. The editor over here, she's going, yeah, me too, motherfucker. Lish, the other day, she's like, I had to silence that shit. She's like, I go in and check it out, but she said it's always a like or a share or some shit message coming through.
That is the thing, guys. We have talked about our schedules so much. We get to go on a little vacation to Las Vegas at the end of this month. We get back on a Monday. I'll leave for Nebraska that next Friday. And then we get a weekend off, and then we'll be in Champaign-Urbana, Illinois at Spring X. It's just April.
Yeah.
And there's shows that we didn't even get to go to, but we still try to support, you know. Did you get the message with the, speaking of support, did you get the video of said homemade walking pancake?
What'd you think, though?
I said fucking genius.
They're going to shit. I'm for real going to get that tattoo. I think my wife is, too.
Oh, God. Well, you can't put it on your sleeve.
Why not?
You don't have a sleeve.
Well, I meant on my
It's
skin.
a skin sleeve, maybe, but no regular sleeve.
I think Lish is going to get hers tattooed where her pocket's at, like on her leg.
Oh.
I thought you meant ass cheek. Like, for real.
Dip.
Fucking walking pancakes, man.
Guys, thank you so much for taking this ride with us. We have to make cup orders. We've already talked to our cup maker over here. So I plan on having some 4-in-1s and some 20 ounces and stuff in Nebraska. We'll have the same shit at Spring Explosion. So if you plan on going to a couple of those shows, instead of getting a hold of me and we ship it like we had last year, fuck that. I'll bring it. No, I hate USPS, I hate UPS, I hate FedEx, I hate them all.
But I can't stress it enough. We keep the messages coming. Whether you add me on Snapchat, Facebook, whatever, hit me up. Like I said, I love it. Fucking, we get to hear your all's opinion. We get to do a little bullshitting, which everybody knows I like to fucking talk anyway. I'm not saying I'm the best at it, but I'll give it a fucking shot.
Justin at Broadhead has been getting hit up pretty good. I believe Chunk has been getting hit up pretty good as well.
Yeah, I know. We keep asking everybody, like, you using your codes? They're like, nope, they're too cheap.
They're already too cheap. But we need to get some stuff locked down with Chunk because I've got guys wanting to know where they can get hoodies and T-shirts.
Yeah. We need to get his ass on here anyway because I've had several people message me, and they're like, who is this? I'm like, well, it's just another cool motherfucker we've met on this journey.
We get to meet a lot of cool dudes.
Yeah.
And girls.
Yeah. You know, this is fucking, it's insane, honestly. Like, you look back at it, and I sit around and think about it all the time. It's fucking crazy.
Last week was the very first episode drop of the first 10.
I seen that. Right down in memories.
So, that's been a minute. So, like I said, guys.
What are we going to do for the 100th?
The 100th?
Yeah.
Live.
Oh.
How many episodes we got left?
I think we're on like 93 or 4. 2, 3, 4, 94.
Hold on just a second, I'll tell you.
Ooh. I need cue the Jeopardy music.
With the new banner
Yeah.
on the back. Number 93.
Yeah, so we do have confirmation. It's confirmed. This will be 93. 7 more episodes.
100th will be live. Hell, there'd be liable to be some raffle or giveaway type of shit
During the live?
during the live. Just got to figure out how to do it.
Your virginity?
You're gonna make me go there. I still have one virginity left, and that sumbitch is staying. I'm just throwing that out there. I have not been to jail.
We're going to drink 100 beers.
Ooh.
No?
I'm out. But no, we'll do something cool for it. So thank you guys again.
So much.
Every one of you. 2,440 something followers on Facebook. Might do a little something when we get to 2,500 on there.
Ooh.
A little something. Go support these shows, guys. There's so fucking many.
They're trying to build the sport. Go support them.
Yes.
I'm ready to get through my little busy stretch that's coming up here, in the next couple months.
Mm-hmm.
That way we can get back on track for where we can start going to these shows and shit.
Yeah, because I'm going to end up having to go to Nebraska by myself.
Yep.
Spring X with me and her. Border Wars.
I don't know about Border Wars yet.
It's in the May. I don't know how.
Yeah, we'll have to see what the weather's doing. I've been working my fucking ass off the last 2 weeks.
Sucks, don't it?
No. No, we're getting this shit done.
Still sucks.
But anyway, we'll be places and doing things. Look us up. Follow us on Facebook.
Come up and talk to us.
Yeah.
We're big ugly fuckers, but we're kind of nice assholes.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, just roll right up to us. But please introduce yourself.
Yes.
Because I will be calling you bud or
Yeah.
dude or man or
Partner.
something. What's going on, boss?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Thank you all again. I know we keep saying that, but y'all are the ones that keep us coming back in here every fucking week.
that's right. Got any last words?
Nope.
Make junk, boys.